Greetings. Thank you for the feedback you are leaving under the videos of the breaking news on ALLATRA TV. Often in comments, we see an opinion that cataclysms are the result of human activity. But let's try to explore this issue together. What does an environmental situation mean? It's when we go outside and we have trouble breathing because of smoke in the atmosphere, when we can't swim in a river or a reservoir because the water is dirty, and it really is the result of human activity. And what is global climate change? It is when overnight, in different parts of the world, sudden, massive floods occur, seismic and volcanic activity increase, the strength and power of hurricanes increases, tornadoes happen where they've never been seen before. And the reason for all this is not the activity of man himself, but the influence of cyclic processes in space on processes inside our planet. Let's watch today's release announcement. If we look at the world map, we can see that irreversible climate changes are taking place in every corner of the planet today. And if you look at the statistics and facts, they tell us about their leapfrogging and increasing dynamics. Extreme heat, massive fires, powerful storms, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. This is a list of the events that you will learn about from the reporters of ALLATRA TV from Belgium, USA and Italy further in this episode. Olga, hello.
Hello, this is ALLATRA TV reporter from Belgium. In August 2020, Belgium experienced its hottest week. The average temperature was 33.5 degrees Celsius. This is the highest value since 1833, although until recently Belgium has been known for its maritime climate with cool summers. As an eyewitness, I would like to add that the temperatures declared by the meteorological services do not fully show the current picture, since one could find many comments from residents of that era that they recorded a hotter temperature even in the evening. Even though the nighttime temperature usually exceeded the average highest daytime temperature, this situation makes us seriously consider the rapid climate changes that are happening now. Recently, similar heat records can be observed more and more often in Belgium, and not only in summer, but also in winter. And every year we observe the rapid extreme heat was also observed in Vladivostok, Russia. The temperature reached plus 33 degrees Celsius. This day has become the hottest since the beginning of the season. The water temperature in the coastal zone was about plus 24 degrees Celsius, which is a seasonal maximum. Also, on this day, extreme heat was observed throughout Japan. Casualties and injured people have been reported. In many parts of the country, on August the 16th, 2020, the temperatures rose to plus 39 degrees Celsius. And the next day, the city of Hamamatsu reported a record temperature of plus 41 degrees Celsius. I pass the floor to my colleague from the scene, and she will tell us more about the heat in California and its consequences. Nara, greetings.
Hello, Olga. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is ALLATRA TV reporter from California, USA. On August 14, 2020, in California, USA, the state power system was overloaded due to the exhausting heat. More than 350,000 homes and businesses. Records of high temperatures were broken in several cities, including San Francisco, San Jose, Palm Springs, and Long Beach. Heat and drought contributed to the fires in California. The fire started on August 12, 2020 in Angeles National Forest and spread over 4,500 hectares. Air pollution reached its highest level in 10 years. In some areas, fires have occurred for the first time in 50 years. Roads have been closed, houses have been damaged. In California, near the Nevada border, a rare fire tornado burst into the sky. Fire extinction is now harder due to hot, dry weather and difficult terrain. The fire department said the event was unusual as it was formed at the beginning of the fire season and spread quickly despite the absence of strong winds. Earlier, on August 10, 2020, another swarm of earthquakes was recorded on the southern part of the San Andreas Fault in California, USA. Seismic activity under the Salton Sea near the fault is much higher compared to the background level. The biggest earthquake had 4.6 magnitude and approximately 1,200 kilometers long. As you see from all this news, this seismic activity is increasing, and the strength and magnitude is really also increasing. And as an eyewitness living here, I can really see. I set up an app in my phone, and I can also, see that the strength is increasing every day. And on this point, it's really important to mention that the climate report, the climate on the problems and consequences of global climate change on Earth, effective ways to solve these problems. This report is really important to consider today, as it's really talking about the truth, and it gives the solutions of how we people can come together and solve this climate change problems today, and not only solve how we can, live so that we can face these problems today. And now I give the word to my colleague, Antonina. Hello, Antonina.
Hello, Nara. Thank you. Здравствуйте, с вами репортер ALLATRA TV.
Greetings. This is ALLATRA TV, reporter from Italy. On August 10, 2020, a powerful storm covered the U.S. Midwest. More than 1 million people were left without electricity in several states. Unfortunately, one casualty has been reported. As a result of the disaster, houses were damaged, trees were felled, and a strong wind was blowing cars off the highway. Also, more than 400,000 hectares of agricultural crops were destroyed or damaged. In Minnesota, more than a month amount of rainfall fell in just one day. And in the city of Bloomington, the storm was accompanied by a wind speed of more than 97 kilometers per hour. Roads throughout the city were blocked due to the fallen trees. On August 12, 2020, in Maryland, thunderstorms accompanied by heavy rains led to flash floods. Many roads have been closed due to high water levels. There was also volcanic activity. In Italy, Etna volcano continues to erupt. On the night of August the 10th of the 11th, 2020, explosions were almost non-stop. Hot lava flows were flowing down the outer side of the southeast crater cone. The volcano ejected ash and steam plume to a height of 3.5 kilometers. The volcano's activity is accompanied by extensive outgassing. I'm giving the floor back to the studio. Konstantin.
Thank you, Antonina. Thank you all for your news. Also, ALLATRA TV reporters from Spain and Mexico are in touch with us. We will talk about a number of natural disasters that have occurred in different countries in Europe, South and Central America. Thank you. This is ALLATRA TV reporter from Spain. On August 11, 2020, rainstorms, hail, floods occurred in the provinces in Cordoba and Sevilla. Streets and houses were flooded. Floodwaters blocked roads. People were evacuated from water traps. There were also power outages. The municipality of Estepa received 85 millimeters of precipitation in just 2 hours, which is 17 times the monthly amount. Since the norm of the precipitation in August and July is minimal, and even in the autumn-winter period, such amount usually falls in a whole month. Heavy streams of water poured through the streets, washing away cars, and in one of the houses a wall was destroyed by a stream of water. A huge hailstorm the size of a hen's egg fell in the city of Ciudad Real. Cars, houses, power lines, and farmlands were damaged. On the same days, there were thunderstorms in Scotland, which caused floods and landslides. Month amount of rainfall fell within a few hours in FIFA Council. As a result, the streets were flooded and the landslide descended on the trailer park. People were evacuated from dangerous areas. In County Aberdeenshire, a passenger train derailed. Casualties and injuries people have been reported. The cause of the crash was a landslide descended on the rails. On August 9, 2020, heavy rain fell in Panama, which also led to a landslide. Unfortunately, casualties have been recorded. The Bijuco River overflowed its banks and caused floods in the Veracruz province. Dozens of homes were damaged. Thank you, Victor. This is ALLATRA TV reporter from Mexico. From 8 to 10th August, heavy rains caused flooding and landslides in Veracruz, Mexico. People were killed by landslides in the municipality of Filomena Mata. Hundreds of people were also evacuated. About 1,700 buildings were damaged. The roads were blocked and mud floods, leaving some communities cut off from the outside world. A state of emergency has been declared in 5 municipalities. Brazilians are experiencing a historically cold August. As a result, severe frost over vast areas were recorded in many parts of Santa Catarina. In the municipality of Born Yedim de Serra, unprecedented cold records have been set. So from 3 to 6 August in this area, the thermometers dropped below 8 degrees Celsius. And this happened for the first time in the history of meteorological observations. Ponds and lakes froze, water supply pipes burst, and a significant number of crops froze. It should be noted that freezing temperatures in Santa Catarina have been recorded since the end of June. In mid-July, the state recorded many record low temperatures. Large-scale fires also occur in South America. During the first 10 days of August, over 10,000 fires were recorded in the forest of the Amazon, which is 17% more than last year. Yes, bushfires in South America happen every year, but this year the number of wildfires already at the beginning of the season became the largest in Brazil in the past 10 years and reached catastrophic levels. This led to colossal emissions of smoke and combustion products, which are intensively carried by winds across the southern hemisphere. Thank you. Residents of China and Korea continue to be at the epicenter of cataclysms. Recently, in almost every issue We talk about large-scale floods that destroy not only the infrastructure of cities, but also the lives of millions of people. An ALLATRA TV reporter from South Korea will tell us about what happened in these countries last week. Yelena, hello.
Hello. Thank you, Konstantin. This ALLATRA TV report from Korea. On August 11, 2020, tropical cyclone Mekhala, accompanied by strong winds and torrential rains, hit Fujian province in southwest China. Wind speed in some places reached 120-130 kilometers per hour, because of which billboard trees and fences were downed. Cars, power lines, and even the walls of some buildings could not withstand such onslaught of the natural forces. On August 12, 2020, in Chinese province of Sichuan was severely hit by heavy rains. The red hazard level was declared. There have been casualties as a result of the rapid flood. Over 40,000 people were forced to leave their homes. In 14 rivers of this district, the water level has significantly risen. Landslide occurred in some places, destroying houses and roads. The monsoon season continues in the Korean Peninsula. As of August 12, 2020, it has already lasted 50 days, and this is the longest period in the 33 years. The monsoon, dozens of people died. Thousands were evacuated, hundreds of houses were damaged and destroyed, more than 9,000 hectares of farmlands were flooded and crops were destroyed. Near the Somjin River, on the southern edge of the peninsula, about 100 meters of dam collapsed. All region except Jeju Island declared the highest hazard level due to the landslides. We also found information about how people interact in emergency situations facing the natural forces. When the water in the river rose and got very close to the bridge, residents of the village Danyan, Chungguk province, whose average age was 65 years old, brought 30 tons of sand at their own expense. Women carried sacks by truck, and the elderly filled 200 sacks and peeled of the approach of water. Residents didn't wait for help and on their own erected fence from sandbags, thus preventing the river from causing even more damage from the rampant natural forces. This moment is very revealing for all of us. It is such emergency situations that it's important to show kindness and humanity to each other. After all, only love for one's neighbor will help to cope with any, even the most difficult problem.
Thank you, Helen, for your news and for your sincere words. In the comments, the question is often raised about how the unification is related to the survival of mankind during the period of cataclysms. In this example we see just now, we were able to see that people were able to save their homes from large-scale flood and possibly their lives. In a global sense, the unification of people is manifested in the same way. When people will hear, understand and respect each other, then if in one part of the planet the harvest has disappeared due to the natural forces, there will be those who are ready to share. If due to an earthquake people's homes are destroyed, there will be those who will help rebuild new ones or shelter them at their homes. And most importantly, in any situation, we will be together and we will support each other. It may seem unrealistic only to those who do not know or do not believe in their abilities. Then the ALLATRA TV reporter from Nigeria will tell us about the earthquakes with a magnitude higher than 6 that have occurred in the different regions of the planet, and unfortunately, with the available possibilities of science which are not used, these natural phenomena still remain extremely unpredictable.
Kanu, greetings.
Hello, Konstantin, greetings too.
Thank you for joining us, and we are giving you the floor. Please.
It's all right, thank you. Hello, everyone. This is ALLATRA TV reporter from Nigeria. On August 12, 2020, a powerful 6.0 earthquake struck in Africa. It's off the coast of Tanzania. It covers across a vast area from Zanzibar to Kenya. This seismic event is the strongest in this region, and it is not usual in this region. It has not happened for decades. And then on August 18, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake was recorded in the Philippines. Unfortunately, several were injured, and there is a significant damage caused by this earthquake in the island of Masbate. Roofs and walls of houses and bridges, as well as the seaport, were damaged. And in addition, large cracks appeared on the roads. It is estimated that about 120,000 people felt this tremor as severe tremor, and 2.5 million people felt it as a moderate tremor. The earthquake also caused power outages in several areas. That is, the tremors also were felt in several provinces, in the central region of Visaya and in the south of Luzon Island. Then on the nights of August 18 and 19, 2020, two powerful earthquakes of 6.8 and 6.9 magnitudes occurred near the islands of Sumatra in Indonesia, all within a difference of 5 minutes. But fortunately, no tsunami threats or destruction was reported. Well, that is it from me here. I'll give the word back to you, Constantine, at the studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanu, for your news.
It's getting obvious that modern civilization is on the edge of death, and now everything depends on each person. After all, for minimization of natural disasters, it is necessary already now to stop all local conflicts and together to search for ways to solve the problems of migration of millions of climatic migrants and also other issues which mankind faces in the conditions of global climate change. And our future depends on whether we can unite in the hour of these trials and build a creative format of relationships instead of the current consumer one. That is why on the ALLATRA IPM platform, people from all over the world are already implementing the Creative Society projects.
My name is Cindy, and this is my friend Sandra. We are both from Kenya.
What society would you like to live in?
Personally, I would really appreciate it. I would really like to live in a society where there's full humanity, where people respect one another's humanity, and people can be able to express themselves the way they want, and people can be able to accept one another regardless of what type of person the other person is, regardless of their religion, political background, race, or any
society of love.
A society full of love and humanity.
Love, kindness, humanity. Just a place whereby you feel free to do whatever you want without having anything inhibiting
boundaries
you.
or something like that, or like, you know, this stereotypes or
just
something like that.
Place.
A free place. Yeah.
Yeah. What can we do to make it happen so a lot of people know about?
Travel. The more you travel, the more you realize that there's so many things in the world, there's so many things out there, so many cultures, so many different lifestyles. So the more you travel, the more accepting you become of everyone, and the more love you have for everyone, you know? If you don't move around, then you're going to be used to the type of life, the type of people that you only see where
and your
you're
thinking
at.
becomes stagnant.
Exactly.
You understand? It's
But
just
the more
stagnant.
you travel, just travel. traveling more.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a perfect
right.
sentence.
I also think people like should read more books.
Yeah, that's right.
And also, like, there's a notion that mostly in society, there's a notion that social media is always negative, but actually, you can utilize it to know more about the society, problems in the society, solutions, how to go about it. So, like, social media and books, as much as you should travel as well.
Yeah, so it's right. I also agree with that. We already have a lot of technology that we can use to spread that information among the people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good.
So, I'm very pleasant that I met you, and I'm very happy.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you. And
We know that there are people all over the world who care about what is happening to the climate on the planet. And most importantly, they care about the fate of those who are already facing the consequences of natural disasters. As you have noticed, there were reporters from many countries in this episode today, and they are openly telling the truth about what is really happening around the world. If you understand and feel the importance of spreading this message to all of humanity, join this initiative. Anyone can become a reporter and speak for themselves about the climatic changes happening in their region. And at the end of this episode, let's watch together an expert from the program with Igor Mikhailovich Danilov, Climate Change, the Beginning of a Big Disaster.
It's painful to hear that people are happy with the fact that everything will be fine for me. Climate change for our state will backfire from the positive side, while those who are there
will grow potatoes twice a year.
Yes, and it's painful that society is not perceived as a whole unit.
You see, if trouble was only that it would be getting warmer, it's not trouble. For many people, it's all good. Is it a problem that somewhere it will get warmer and somewhere else it will get colder? Well, so if it has distributed, those who like warmth will move to a place where there is warm. Those who like snow will move to a place where it's snowing. The trouble is in the chaos. And this is the trouble is in the chaos and destruction. After all, these challenges lead to destruction and elimination. Many people know about this. That's where the trouble is. We completely destroy the entire economy of the world, and then you can restore it together, and there will be not big trouble. We humans will survive if we want to. Well, it's not a question of destroying the economy, it's not about destroying a planet. Do you know what the funniest thing is? History always repeats itself. Once someone tried to do something, to speak, because some talk and some do not hear, and someone who hears says, it doesn't concern me, or they talk nonsense.
They are inactive, right?
Absolutely right, even in action. What does the human enemy do? It immobilizes, and this is the scariest thing that can be. Person understands, feels, knows the truth, but he is inactive.